they poured chocolate milk over his head in the middle of the cafeteria. It wasn't an accident. It was never an accident. Marcus froze, milk dripping from his hair onto his tray, the laughter echoing like gunshots in his ears. Someone shouted, "Smile for the camera, Marcus," and a phone flashed. In that moment, every single person in that room saw him as nothing, just the poor black kid with the ugly sneakers. But here's what they didn't know. In less than 2 years, Marcus would have more money than all of their families combined, and one of them would be on their knees begging for his forgiveness. The bullying had started months earlier. Small at first, whispers in the hallway, mocking glances, the occasional shove, but Kyle Thompson, the golden boy of Jefferson High, had decided Marcus was an easy target, and when Kyle decided something, the whole school followed. Still, Marcus didn't fight back. He walked home quietly every day, slipping through the back door of his modest-looking house, never letting anyone see the truth. Because the truth was, his parents weren't broke. They owned businesses in 3 different states. They had a trust fund with his name on it, set to release when he turned 18, and they had one rule: earn your own respect before you inherit anything. For months, Marcus kept his head down, but on a rainy Thursday, everything changed. He was walking home when a car slowed beside him, Kyle's car. The window rolled down, and before Marcus could react, a cup of soda flew out, drenching him from head to toe. Kyle's laugh faded as the car sped away, and that's when Marcus whispered to himself, "When the time comes, I'll make them remember this day." Marcus didn't need to throw punches. He had something better: patience. The Monday after the soda incident, he showed up to school wearing the same old sneakers, but with a notebook in his hands. Not a school notebook. This one was different. Inside were names, dates, what they did, how they laughed. He started watching them, studying them like animals in a cage. Kyle liked to leave his math homework unfinished, then copy it from one of the smart kids before class. Jared, the one who poured milk on Marcus, had been sneaking out during lunch to meet a girl from another school. Samantha, who filmed half the pranks, had a little online shop selling clothes she found in the lost and found bin. Marcus never said a word, but every secret he wrote down was another match waiting to be lit. Then, the perfect opportunity came. One morning, the school PA system crackled. "Attention students, we will be holding a public speaking competition next month. The winner will get a $1,000 scholarship and a feature in the local newspaper." Marcus knew exactly what he was going to do. He signed up, not because he wanted the money, but because the whole school, parents, teachers, even the local press would be there to hear what he had to say. The weeks leading up to the event, Marcus kept smiling, letting his bullies think they'd broken him. But behind the scenes, he was crafting a speech that would burn their names into everyone's memory. Not directly, no, he was smarter than that. He would tell a fictional story about a boy with old sneakers and the monsters who tried to break him. The auditorium was packed. Parents in their Sunday best, teachers lined up near the stage, students whispering in the back. Marcus sat in the 3rd row, hands folded, pretending to be calm. Inside, his heart was pounding like a war drum. When his name was called, he walked to the podium slowly, deliberately. He took a moment to look at the crowd, to look at them. Kyle, leaning back in his chair with that smug grin. Jared, scrolling through his phone. Samantha, chewing gum like she owned the place. Marcus adjusted the microphone. His voice was calm at first. "This is a story about a boy with old sneakers. The kind you don't notice at first, until you decide they're worth laughing at." The crowd chuckled softly, thinking it was a light-hearted tale. But then Marcus's tone changed. This boy was pushed, mocked, humiliated for something he couldn't change. Not because he was weak, but because his bullies needed someone weaker than themselves to feel strong. The room grew still. He went on, weaving every real incident into the fictional story. The chocolate milk, the soda, the insults, painting the picture so vividly that you could feel the cruelty. No names were spoken, but every student in the room knew exactly who the villains were. When he finished, there was silence. Not the polite kind, the heavy kind, the kind that sits on your chest. And then, the applause started. Slow, at first, then louder. The principal shook his hand. The local reporter came over, asking for a photo. In the corner of the room, Kyle's grin was gone. Samantha was whispering to Jared, her face pale. Marcus smiled to himself. This was just the first strike. 2 years later, Jefferson Heights hadn't changed much. The same coffee shop on Main Street, the same rusty welcome sign by the highway, and the same people who once thought Marcus was invisible. But Marcus had changed. On his 18th birthday, the trust fund became his. 7 figures, sitting in his account, ready to be used however he wanted. Most people would have left town. But Marcus wasn't most people. He had unfinished business. The alumni event was the perfect stage. He arrived in a black Tesla, custom license plate reading Old N KRS. Stepping out, he wore a tailored charcoal suit and sneakers worth more than some people's cars. Clean, flawless, glowing under the sun. As he walked in, heads turned. Whispers spread. That's Marcus Johnson. The Marcus. Kyle was there, of course. His once shiny hairline was already retreating. Jared looked tired, older than his years. Samantha had a fake smile plastered on her face. Marcus greeted them warmly. Hey, it's been a while. Still hanging out together? Cute, they mumbled awkward hellos, unsure what to say. During the event, Marcus made a donation to the school's scholarship fund. Not a huge amount, just enough to get his name printed on a plaque in the hallway forever. When they unveiled it, the crowd read the engraving. For every kid with old sneakers, never forget your worth. The bullies clapped along with everyone else, but their eyes told the real story. They remembered. The event was over. People were leaving in small groups, laughing, catching up on old times. Marcus was heading toward his car when he heard a voice behind him. Marcus, wait. He turned. It was Kyle, but not the confident, smirking Kyle he remembered. This Kyle looked defeated. His tie was loose, his eyes tired. I just wanted to say I'm sorry, Kyle muttered, staring at the ground. Back then I was stupid. I thought making fun of you made me, I don't know, cooler. Marcus studied him for a moment. He could have said 100 things. He could have laughed in his face, reminded him of every cruel joke, every drink spilled, every moment of humiliation. Instead, he stepped closer. You know, Kyle, I used to think revenge would make me feel better, but it doesn't, because I'm already living the life I wanted, and you're still here trying to fix your mistakes. Kyle looked up, confused. Marcus extended his hand. We're good, but I'll never forget, and I hope you don't either. They shook hands. Marcus got into his Tesla, drove off into the night, and for the first time in years, he felt completely free. Because the greatest revenge wasn't the money, the car, or the suit. It was showing them that no matter what they did, they never had the power to break him.